hear that they're turning into a smart city and everything, but who thinks that it goes much deeper than that? I think it goes much deeper than that because I think that it is related to um, nature in all of us and the mental state of all of us. Meaning, on one side of us, in the west side of us, which would be our left brain, versus our right brain, which is the east side of us, right? I think the left side of our brain is in the thought of Oh my gosh, can you hear now? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Can you hear me now? I said all of that and nobody could hear me. Well, how people liking it then? Oh my God, so it was my microphone. So how is people liking it then? I don't understand. How in the world is, how's people liking it? And that's crazy. Nobody said nothing. Okay, well, I guess I was talking to myself at that point. I could re-say everything, you know what I'm saying? But probably won't come out the same because I was like speaking off the dome. But Heaven's Archive, what is that? That sounds dope. Well, thank you for anyway. Thank you anyway for telling me that you couldn't hear anything. So anyway, okay, so back to what I was saying. Basically what I was saying was my interpretation of the West Coast versus the East Coast and the fires versus the snow. I was breaking it all down as it relates to spirituality, finances, science, technology, and nature. So that's what I was doing. I was breaking it all down and how it's yin and yang with snow being feminine and fire being masculine, and snow being melting into water and nourishing the earth and representing, and water representing money, while the West Coast fire um, and representing masculine burning desires, rebuilding, transformation, um, light beings, a lot of light beings, and how light beings can basically come together and create a laser of fire or a ball of fire. There's a lot of talent, a lot of inspiration, a lot of bright lights in California, and also it being the Golden State, and how to me men golds ourselves, and how we're basically the sons of God, just like Jesus. So um, sons meaning, when I say sons, I mean the sun, like the sun that's bright and hot and heat. So um, just like Jesus was the son of God. So anyway, I was saying it's deep, and I was saying like I'm on my sunshine on my goddess stuff right now where I'm digging deeper. And so I really spoke for like 18 minutes and nobody heard anything, but it's okay because I might repeat myself later. But I did touch on, as the queen of technology and hidden truths, I did touch on how oh how I use ChatGTP to kind of arrange my thoughts and pull out my interpretations by asking it a few things about um, spirituality and science and technology as it relates to it being fire on the West Coast and snowing on the East Coast, and how it was just basically telling me what I already was thinking, but it gave me like a more breakdown because, it checks all of the databases and references and archives that's available to mankind or to humankind, and our own brains and our Akashic records and every record that exists, because it's AI intelligence. So I was like saying how it, since it has more information that it can reference, um, I just was saying how it was able to break down exactly what I was thinking and put it in like a more articulate, organized way to explain what it is I was trying to say to myself when I was asking the question, and how light being faster than sound, and because I was thinking of frequency and vibrations and music, um, as it relates to which one is faster, light or sound, because as those fires are destroying everything, um, and how fast that fire, which is light, travels, it was just making me think of um, how fast we as people like can have a burning desire and instantly either destroy or create something. So, because I look at nature and us as one, and so when I break it down in those five categories, with, like I said, the nature, the technology, the science, the spirituality, and I'm missing one. I forgot I said it earlier, but anyway, as you break down those elements, it just, to me, to me, it gives more insight to me. It gives more insight into exactly what we should do going forward. Um, which at this point is kind of it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's all God, right? So um, but we are the collective God, right? So yeah, it basically says we got to do better. That's it. It basically says, as humankind, we have to do better mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, technologically, um, of course, economically and ecosystem wise. We definitely have to do better. I know some people don't believe in climate change. Some people don't believe in taking climate action and all that. But I mean, you can't deny the fact that if we ourselves create the ecosystem internally and externally, there's only amount of resources and only a certain amount of um, there's only so much that if there's only so much that the human body can take, there's only so much that the earth, which is inside of us, and we're part of it. We're part of Earth. Earth is inside us. We're part of Earth that manifests itself outside of us. So since we're all one, there's only so much we can take, it can take, until it turns us into something that we can't recognize, which has already happened. But I do feel like we're having to get back um, to nature. We're having to get back to natural. We're having to get back to ourselves. And while they're building a smart city, I understand, or supposed to build a smart city in California. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I hear. I mean, considering Silicon Valley is already the technology hub, I thought it was already a smart city, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how much damn smarter it can get. But I mean, I guess it's going to get so smart to the point where uh nah, it's already smart. Like, I don't know how much smarter y'all want the damn place to get. I mean, I don't know how much smarter y'all want the place to get. When the universe is smarter on the outside than we are in the inside, as it relates to being natural people, if the outside is duplicating, replicating, and trying to be nature, that's like that's like that's false. That's just false. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. It's like false. It's like of course you can make a tree, right? You can okay, I'll say it like this. It would be like a tree that's 3D printed, right? A 3D printed tree. So not a tree that necessarily grew its roots from the ground and grew up to be a beautiful tree and had, soil, water, earth, wind, fire, like all the elements, ether, help it grow. And it's a conscious tree, right? Because when we touch trees, we get recharged and power from the tree. But if it's just a computerized tree, I'm not saying it's not a tree, but it's not a natural tree. It's a printed tree. It's a representation of a tree that is only real in the matrix of things, basically computerized. And so the more sentient that we begin to make replicas of nature habitats, the more unnatural us as human beings are going to become. So, and it's so funny because I'm semi old school, but I'm young. I'm like, um, I'm an old soul, but I'm young. And it's just like, I saw this person that was when I was in California one time. We was walking on Venice Beach. It was so funny. Like, I love it. I love it though, but it was so hilarious. This guy was so on another he was so on another level in his way of life, I guess, or something, that he was the way he was reared back and high stepping with his shades on. He had on black shades, a whole hot pink windbreaker outfit that was shorts, and some black high tech boots. And the way he was leaned back and high stepping like a Martian, he could have been high. I don't know. It was great. I was like, I don't know if I would be that high, but he looked like he was in there. But my point is like that reminded me of he reminded me of like what we're going to become if everything keeps getting replicated by technology and being real fake, like 3D printed. We're making suns that is hotter than the sun with technology. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this, but it's like we're gonna freaking blow ourselves away. Like what we doing? I don't know. It don't make sense to me. Like I'm all for trying stuff, right? Because I love like research and stuff. I love science. I'm a STEM student, science, technology, engineering, and math from birth. But I'm like one of those scientists that's like, okay, enough is enough at some point because I can't even figure out if I'm still real. It's like, like I'm on full cyborg right now. So people's heart are growing cold towards each other. Seems every generation seems just to get worse in terms of moral values and love towards each other, right? Seems wrong. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Heaven's Archive, you're so right. And it's confusing, because it's like you didn't question if everything you grew up learning as far as do unto others and treat others like you want to be treated and all of the things, you start to question, okay, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, because if you think about it, if you say okay to yourself, you say, okay, well, I know this is wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Is it because you've been bullied so long to where now it's right for you to bully back because you've been bullied? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then somebody will look at you like you're wrong because you fought back or you did something back, you know? And it's like, um, I know, they say, oh, you're not supposed to get revenge and all of those things like that. But at the same time, self-preservation and self-defense and all of those things are real too. So it's like, it's like you got all these contradictory teachings, and then where you see where people who get ahead um don't follow the same rules that you grew up learning. Hi, Wild Western Memories. So, you have all these people who get ahead by not going with not going along with the teachings that they taught us to keep us in order and to keep us submitted and keep us compliant and to keep us in the social contract and everything. It's like, then you're wrong when you get super extremely upset and have a bad thought or something like that, or do something horrible, and it's like, now it's only on you, which is true. It is only on you because you can't let the outside world get in your inside. So that part is true. Um, so yeah, it's like it's like if we don't teach the next generation to know thyself and to be so aware of themselves and to be so um confident within themselves, don't let nobody break them spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Maybe that's why they're cold. Maybe that's why they seem cold, because they don't allow it. That may be why. They could have been programmed. They could have already been programmed. See, because I'm a millennial, so I'm the last of the generation of um from the what was before us, Gen Xers, right? So I'm the last. Well, millennials, not me, but millennials. We're the last before Gen Xers. I mean, after Gen Xers, not before, but after Gen Xers. So, like all the old school knowledge and teaching and stuff, millennials, I think, are the last ones, because the ones after us, oh no, they're not they're not going for it. They're really all for self, all about self, and I'm happy they know thyself, and I'm happy they are uh very in self-defense of themselves and self-aware and everything like that, and self-confident. But it's also scary at the same time, because it kind of leaves no room for the old teachings of forgiveness and do unto others, because they're like, do unto others. Nah, look what this world done did unto us. you know, so yeah, it's tough. It is tough. It is tough. Like, and to keep some of the old programs going, like the world's changing. My grandma always says God's coming soon. Like one time on the new, like, hurricanes made a cross. Yeah. Um, on the new, like, hurricanes made a cross. You know, it's because you know what, when it comes to some stuff that's in nature, that's on the media, I get, I get weary of some of the stuff that I see on the media as it relates to nature. If I was there and actually saw it, it would mean something different. But when it happens, when it's shown on the media that that's what happened, sometimes it makes me think of projected programming, or like projections from um because they have the technology to do huge projections into the sky. So these days, when they put the stuff on media that a big cross was in the sky, or a big, or something, some type of image or something, as it relates, like, I know they showed one image where it looks like a man with a staff was walking a shadow that was like a big shadow that was really, really tall, like larger than, it was just huge. It just reminded me of someone having a spotlight somewhere and projecting from somewhere, either a satellite or something, projecting a shadow onto that exact moment. And because it all can be timed out and it all can be manipulated. So when it comes to media, like I said, unless I'm actually there and see it with my own eyes, and then I can't even have a reference point as to how they done it, then I can believe it. But unfortunately, it's like technology has ruined me. Like, as far as me believing some stuff that I used to believe. Don't get me wrong, I'm still kind of a unicorn though. But I'm like a skeptical unicorn. It's kind of weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like how I believe everything, and believe nothing. Like, I don't know. It's a contradiction. Meet Gemini. Yeah, yeah. You know, like uh, Gemini also is another Chat GTP for anybody who doesn't know that. Gemini is Google's Chat GTP. So, yeah, there y'all go. Hidden technology truth that you didn't know, maybe. They created that with me in mind, I'm sure. As y'all see, I like to think I'm important. So, and our grandparents they didn't know anything about technology that has been available since. I mean, it was documented in Sumerian times. It was documented back in ancient Egyptian times. It was documented back in Jesus' time. I mean, it's been Buddha time. It's been documented so many years and ancient years ago, the technology that already existed. But just like our grandparents, those people didn't know what to make of it either. So, because they didn't know the word technology, that word is just new. Like, they didn't know what to call it. Like, I mean, they probably call it something else, in their own language, but it didn't mean what it means to us today, I'm sure. But I'm pretty sure they didn't think it was, well, I'm sure they thought it was spiritual and divine, but they probably didn't contribute it to just a being, like a divine being, like a Jesus or a Buddha or a Krishna or a you know any of the thought leaders or any of the spiritual leaders. They probably didn't contribute it to that. They probably contributed to when they looked up in the sky and they saw stars and sun and moon and or ocean animals. They probably contributed to actual nature. They probably was not. I guess that's how they came up with all the gods and goddesses and sea monsters and creatures and um all that stuff. But anyway, it's all here for us to use as tools to interpret whatever the universe is trying to say to us. So I love all of it. But anyway, so back to what I was saying about the fire and the snow. Oh my God, it's been 47 minutes, y'all. No way. Oh, that's because the first 18 minutes y'all didn't hear nothing. Anyway, I was trying to go on my live Ascension Survivors channel, but for some reason, I still have to do shorts on there, and it only has 7 subscribers. So y'all make sure y'all follow Ascension Survivors, my YouTube channel, Spiritual Talks with a Mayan Goddess. Make sure you follow that channel. I really appreciate y'all staying here to listen to me rant and babble on about Babylon. No, I ain't gonna say that. I don't even know nothing about that for real. I heard about it, but whatever. I love all this. I love all the spiritual talk and all the spiritual ancient information and stuff like that. I really love it. I'm so happy we're diving into it. And I just hate that it got everybody. That's a touchy subject, just like politics. So it's like politics and religion is like two things that we freaking go ape shit about and will literally destroy one another over. So, but I love to talk about all of the ancient stuff and talk, especially how it applies to technology and how technology is becoming us. we're becoming we're becoming technology and technology becoming us. Well, we are supercomputers. So I mean that's true already. We are supercomputers, but now they're literally taking our supercomputer selves and like freaking duplicating us. Like it's crazy. Like whether it's cloning, whether it's duplicating our mental in the algorithms, whatever it is, it's still kind of scary, right? Because it's just so smart, so freaking smart. It's like, what do you do with technology being more human than you? When a robot becomes more human than you, like what do you do with that? Like that movie. What is that movie called? Oh my gosh, I gotta watch it. That new movie where the robot woman starts to be a home wrecker to the married couple. Oh my god, what is this movie called? I gotta find this. I want to see this movie. So the main stars are African American, and I can't remember what the man name is or the woman name, but type that in. So I don't know if y'all seen the movie Tim and the movie Megan, but imagine those two movies if you've seen Tim or if you've seen Megan. Imagine those robotic dolls with shoot. One of them was a human. Well, both were human, but the girl Megan looked like a doll. But the guy Tim, he looked like a man. He like a straight man. He didn't look like a robot. And that's the same concept of this movie that I'm talking about. But she ends up home wrecking this couple's marriage. And I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna watch it. I might watch it tonight. Movie Monday. I'm gonna watch it. Movie Monday. You know what I'm saying? What time is it? 11:30? Oh my God. It's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. But I'm not sleepy, so I might still watch it. I tried to sleep all day. It didn't work because I'm in a smart house, and let me tell y'all, every time I try to go to sleep, that Google Voice thing was scheduled to say something. I think it was like at 3 o'clock. It was like, no. First, it was like 1 something. And it was like, hey, you should get up and go take a walk. Mind you, I'm asleep by myself, nobody here. And this thing just all of a sudden says, hey, you should get up and go take a walk. My sister scheduled this to say this, and I didn't know that it was going to say it while I was trying to sleep. So then it said, you should get up and go take a walk. And I'm like, so who's in here? And then I remember it's that thing. It's the daggone Google thing. Then it's like an Alexa, but it's a Google one. Then I try to go back to sleep. Then about 3 something, it says, you should now get up and get a drink of water and wash your hands. I'm like, Why? Why he say, why are you telling me to get up, go get a drink of water and wash my hands? So then after that, it then says, okay, no, then after that, I try to go back to sleep. The printer starts to make noise because I think my sister was printing from wherever she is. And so the printer starts printing. And mind you, nobody's here but me. And I'm sleeping. So I'm like, okay, this is a lot. Like, there's a lot going on. On top of the fact, my cell phone has alarms set. And so my alarm, when I try to go back to sleep, my alarm goes off and say, hey, it's time to do some yoga or take a walk and have a drink of water. And I'm like, yeah, we've scheduled ourselves to where we can't get any sleep. And then I try to go back to sleep, and then I get a text message. And I try to go back to sleep. Then somebody calls. Then I try to go back to sleep, and then I gotta use the bathroom. It's like, yeah, we've been programmed to get no sleep. It's crazy. Or we program ourselves to get no sleep. I can't even say somebody did it. No, we program ourselves to get no sleep. No sleep game is real. No sleep gang is real. I'm trying to get some sleep though, because I need my body to repair itself. I need my brain to repair itself, and I need to be unfatigued. Oh yeah. And so what else happened? Oh yeah. And the power went off. I didn't even know the power had went off till I went downstairs and I saw the light was blinking on the stove. So that means the power had went off and came back on. It's a lot going on. A lot going on. So why y'all prepare for this smart cities? These smart cities? When these smart cities and these smart houses are smarter than us, prepare to be dumb. And we getting no sleep. Uh, but yeah, so that's what we need to prepare for, because that's where we at. That's where we are. That's where we are. So just imagine, yeah. So that would make sense too, as to how these places that are so advanced in technology have minimal crime. Yeah, that would make sense, because if it's already put you in a category or predicted your next moves or predicted what you're going to do, what you might do, uh, already called the police before you even did it because it knows what you're thinking. Because don't think for 1 second certain people who are already considered rebels, don't think it's not already tracking your thoughts, because it is, myself included. You know what I'm saying? So at least I know it. I'm aware of it. But it's as long as it's happening to everybody, that's what will make it fair. But it's only if it's only uh certain groups and certain, regions or certain states, that's what will make it unfair. If it's only people who are on the grid and not people who are off the grid too, that's what would also make it unfair. But I mean, you can't stop nobody from being off the grid. But anyway, so that means either get off the grid or Be prepared for all of this to be reading your mind. I mean, I know humans could already do it, but now that smart cities and smart houses can also do it, and with more precision, more precise, more calculated, more analytical than a human, I'm here for it if it makes my life better. So I'm fearless to it, but it's just kind of weird. What y'all think? We got 100% yes. Who thinks the wildfires and snow are connected to us? So we got 100% yes. I agree. Yay, we agree on something. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get off of this live because it has hit exactly 60 minutes and about 10 seconds. But I appreciate y'all all for staying with me and having this discussion with me. And I will talk to y'all later.